So I decided to go to a physio. All right. First of all, I thought I'd go to a local place run by Japanese people because it seemed easier. So I walked down to my local physio chiropractor kind of centre, walked in there, right? And I was greeted by what can only be described as the Japanese Ian Jury, all right? I mean, fair play to the guy for doing a day's work with whatever condition he had going on, but it looked like he had some kind of motor neurological condition, and call me a twat. But I thought, well, if some geezer's going to be working on my body, I'd like him to be, you know, tip-top condition himself. My body fascism and prejudice there was perhaps a little bit prophetic, because when I walked in there, the first thing he said was, in Japanese, "What course do you want? What course do you want?" Right? Because in Japanese, everything's like courses. You have to pay like 30 minutes for 20,000 yen or 2,000 yen or whatever, right? So he just went, "What course do you want?" Right? So it was like he just wanted some money, right? He didn't ask me like what's wrong. He didn't say what's wrong with your body. Yeah, he just went, "Oh, what course do you want?" I was like, "Mate, are you not going to just like ask me what's wrong first to try and assess me?" None of that. So I just thought, fuck it, walked out the door. So on the way back, when I was limping home, I got my phone out and I started Googling proper physios. Found one in Tokyo. Right, Philip, mate. Found one in Tokyo. Went down there today, and the geezer was absolutely excellent. It was absolutely excellent, right? I spent quite a lot of time with him today. I'll boringly talk you through the entire process and try and make it as... All right, Sabermax. Hey, Sabermax. I'll try and make it as interesting as possible. So I walked in there, right? And I sat down and he went, "Right, what's up?" I told him, I said, "Yeah, look, I do a lot of riding, pretty hard, doing that for years and years and years of my life. Got a left and right imbalance, I reckon. My hip hurts, hip flexor problems, lower back on the right, canes, and my shoulders get achy after like 30, 40 minutes of riding." And he went, "Right, let's have a look at you then." So I had to take my socks off, first of all. And he went, "Right, just stand there, like in front of me. And now lift up one foot and then try and like squat down on one leg." So I did that. My left leg was totally fine. I could get quite low, but my right leg, I was like sort of tipping over. I couldn't seem to get any balance. I couldn't get down. And he went, "Right, okay, take your shirt off and that." So I took my shirt off, and he looked at me in the mirror, and he was looking at all my shoulder angles and everything, and like looking where my hips are and that. Carl's turned off GC. Good man. Well, you're in the cult then, mate. You're in the group. And he put his hands on the bottom of my back as I was like facing away from him. He said, "Right, try and lean back as far as you can. Just like angle your shoulder. Just try and like get your head to touch the floor." And I think he was like testing my my lower back lumbar position. So I did that. And he went, "All right, touch your toes then." Touch my toes. He stuck his finger up my arse at that point. And then made me stick my finger up his arse. He said there would be a 20% discount for that, so I went with it. I got the 20% off. After we'd done that, and I'd washed my hands, we continued. He said, like, your hamstrings were all right, so there's no problem with my hamstrings. And then he got me to lay on the treatment bed, right? And he started like grabbing hold of he got hold of my feet, my left foot first. And then he was like turning it around and stuff, like checking for mobility. And I thought originally I had a mobility problem with my left foot. But apparently there wasn't. He said there's nothing wrong with it. So then he got the same leg, and he lifted it up and sort of pushed my knee back onto my body and leant on it, and it felt a bit tight in my hip, but nothing like really bad. And then he did the same with my right leg, and fucking hell, man, my hip was like he couldn't get it all the way up. Like, it was really painful. Like when my knee was coming up to my chest, it was really painful. And at first I thought he'd stuck his finger up my arse again, but that he said he hadn't, right? He said he hadn't, and I trusted him by that point, because we were close, we'd bonded already, right? And he smelt nice as well. He had nice aftershave. So he old school treatment, Seb. Yeah, that's it. So then he said, "Right, okay, well, where else does it hurt?" And he told me, like, I said, like on my spine, like the sort of lower middle of my back, but on the right hand side of my spine. And I was like shitting myself, thinking like, He couldn't get all the way up, no. All right, Whit, how's it going, mate? I originally thought, like, fuck, if I, like, got a herniated disc or something, because I was getting, like, a bit of numbness in my fingers, and obviously I Googled it. And it was like, fucking, you're going to die. You're going to die, mate. You got cancer, AIDS, and fucking spina bifida, and someone's put a $5,000 hit on your head. You're fucked, basically. That's what Google said. But I went there and he said that wasn't the case. So, like, he said, right, well, what we can do now is, what did he do then? Oh yeah, he asked me to, like, he said, I'm gonna get my thumbs and like, put them in different points around your hip, and you tell me, like, which one hurts. So I did the right one first, the left one first, and, like, nothing really hurt. And then he did the right one, and then, like, he was poking about. And have a look on this diagram here. Can you see where my mouse is moving around? I'll zoom in a bit. You can see where my mouse is, right? Where I've just zoomed in. I'm circling on that diagram, just here, yeah, like this bit. He shoved his thumb in there. Fucking hell! I nearly hit the ceiling. It was, oh my god! It was like I had an electric shock. It was agony. It was agony. Like, all around this area, he was shoving his thumb in here. This white tendon, and then, like, the muscles here. This outer muscle. He shoved his thumb in there at different points, and I had to, like, I was like trying to push him off. Fucking hell! Killing, totally killing. Worse than the arse thing he'd just done. I think the reason he shoved his finger up my arse was to try and, like, to sort of, like, gradually get me into pain, you know, throughout the day. Because that was a bit of a shock. But, like, once you've gone through that, I think, like, that made it easier to deal with what was coming with later. I mean, he's very professional, very professional. So, like, all these muscles around here, like this outer one, you can see I'm moving my mouse down, and then this inner one here, fucking Jesus, like, it was caning. All right, Seb, man, see you later, yeah? See you, I'll upload this later, mate. Yeah. Really, really, really painful. Really painful. And he shoved it, and then he said, right, well, basically, this is really tight here. And the reason you're getting that lower back pain is because, well, as you can see on this diagram, that muscle here goes up and is connected to the spine at the bottom. So this achingness on this side is kind of linked to this tightness down here, right? Lauren, I mean, that, yeah. That, what can I say? Yeah. So yeah, so all of this pain on this side has been linked to this tightness down here. And then after he did that, he said, right, I'm going to do a few more tests and that. And he unzipped his trousers, but he just went off to the toilet then. You know, I thought he was going to try and rape my ass. But he didn't. He's a gentleman. He came back after a couple of minutes. Said he wouldn't charge me for the extra minutes. So yeah, then he grabbed my right leg again, and he pushed it up against my body, but this time he moved it out like that. And when he moved it out and pushed back on it, all of this was like these muscles here were being like super torqued, really, really pushed hard. And fuck, again, that was really painful. And that sort of like triggered my back hurting a bit. So he said, right, well, basically what we've got to do is we've got to loosen all this off here. It's all got to be loosened off. But he said to me, like, as a course of treatment, like, he'll try and do it today. He'll try and, like, get it going today. But he doesn't reckon it can all be done today because it's been so long in the making. Like, this stiffness has been so long in the making. It's going to take me doing self-treatment and then going back and seeing him a couple of times just to really get in there. Also, he said that, like, the muscles across my arse, which is probably what he did his finger check for, especially on the left, were really tight, and my IT band on the left and right were a little bit tight as well. I mean, this guy was good, man. This guy was good. He really knew what he was doing. Really, really, really good guy. He was from New Zealand. He was working in Tokyo, but he's from New Zealand, right? Proper, you know, qualified physiologist and neurological, I don't know what it is. So he was a good guy, yeah, good guy. Anyway, so that was the diagnosis, and everything he said like started to make sense. And like the thing with my left and right shoe, my left shoe wearing out quicker than my right shoe, I thought like, is that my leg being shorter than the other? One leg being shorter than the other? But actually it's not, because he checked my leg length and they're both the same. The discrepancy is because this tightness in the hip area, as I suspected the other day, was actually my stride being restricted. So like on my right leg, I can't take as big a loose stride as my left. So my left is kind of overcompensating and then taking the force of the walking, which is why also when I'm riding my bike, maybe I'm getting that left side up and down click clack, where I'm basically sort of over moving my left as my right is really tight. You know, I haven't ridden my bike since I've been through all the treatment, but he reckons that might be it. So anyway, once he diagnosed it, it was time for him to start treating me. All right. Now, as you can imagine, this was a bit of a laugh. So what I had to do was lay down on my back on this treatment bed. And, well, he said to me, this is going to hurt a bit. And I assumed he was talking about, you know, the treatment and not something going up my arse. So what he did was he just got his thumbs and just dug them in like an absolute fucker right into this area here and just held them there. Honestly, it felt like an hour. It was probably about 10 seconds. But seriously, it was everything I could do. Everything I could do to like not writhe away. And he goes, right, did that hurt? I'm like, yeah, it fucking well hurt, mate. And he went, right, that was about 10% of what I need to do. I was like, fucking, right, come on then, mate. Come on then. Can you do it? Can you do it in 10% increments? He was like, yeah, right. So he went harder again, and I was like, fuck. And he went harder again. It was like, oh man. Like we did it all, got through it all. And by the end of it, like, oh God, I wasn't even sure if it was better or not, because it just was fucking, it was that painful. It was agony. And I had to like just lay there and take it like like when I was an extra in that film Wild, the Oscar Wilde story. Yeah. Yeah, Alistair, well, I'll tell you what, Ryan, he was fucking brilliant. He was really good, right? I'm glad I found him. And then, all right, Tom, mate. Yeah, just, I'll upload it, mate. I'll upload it. Yeah, I said to him, man, fucking, I'm glad you've you know, used your evil torture skills for the, you know, the forces of good, because he could easily be, you know, one of the Spanish Inquisition. Fucking Christ, unbelievable. After he'd done that, he goes, right, that was the easy bit. I'm like, fucking what do you have to do now? He goes, right, we've got to do that all again, but you've got to lift your leg up and down as we do it. Fucking, so I had to like go through all that again. Him like just caning his thumb like fucking as hard as he could. Well, probably not as hard as he could, but it really felt like it. ISIS physio, yeah, mate. Put it hurt. Can you just cut my head off and do it, and then sew my head back on when you've done it? But yeah, he dug his thumbs in really, really hard again, and then I had to like lift my knee up. And as I lifted my knee up, he was like pushing it harder. But like as I was lifting my knee up, it sort of made it not hurt as much. He goes, right, now push your knee down. And like, as I was going down, he was like fucking caning it in. Oh my God, that was terrible. He goes, yeah, we could do that 4 more times, mate. I'm like, fucking up for. I was just trying to do it as quick as I could. He's like, just slow down, mate. I'm like, oh, fuck. By that point, I was like properly just, I was wrecked. And then he did like 2 sets of all of that. He let me have a break in the middle because it was caning that bad. It was all right as well. He was like talking to me that, like explaining what was going on. And then he goes, right, we've done your hip now. We need to do your rear, your glute, your arse, and like not internally, not in internal arse massage like he'd done before. Like, and he said, right, lay on your side. So I laid on my side like that, and he got his elbow, right, got his fucking elbow, like the point of his elbow. And this geezer, right, he weren't little. He was this big dude from New Zealand. He was a rugby player, right? An actual rugby player. Like he's on a team here. big dude putting his weight on me. I mean, I weigh like 64 kilograms. I'm a skinny bloke, right? And he was just like caning the point of his elbow right onto my, like, you know, piriformis across your ass. Fucking hell. And then at one point, like, he leant over to get his I don't know, lube. No, he leant over to get his iPad, because he kept on showing me the diagrams as he was doing it of where he was doing it, which was, I thought that was really good. Like, he said, okay, well, we're doing this muscle now, mate, and like we're going around here, like, really cool. But at one point, he went to lean it, and he sort of like slipped, and it, like, fucking went like that on my muscle. Oh my God, that was the fucking worst. But after he'd held it there for ages, I felt it sort of relaxing a bit, and then like that took about, like, the whole sort of main treatment bit was an hour. But like before we did that, he did all that, like, he sort of measured me up, and then there was the arse thing. And then he asked me about, like, my exercise, like what I'm doing and all that kind of shit, and like what sort of position I'm in on my bike and everything. And he said a few things that which would, like, show me he was, like, properly good. Like, he said, whenever you get these pain in your hip and then you suddenly get off your bike, does it just quickly go away? I'm like, fucking hell, yeah. How do you know that? He goes, oh, right, yeah. I reckon I know what it is. So I was like, geez, man, like, when you go and see someone who's like a proper pro, who's studied this subject well, it's really impressive, isn't it? Like, I was happy to pay the money. It weren't cheap, but you know what I mean? Whatever. So yeah, like, after we'd done that, after he'd, like, just fucking beaten me up, he said, walk around for a bit. And I was like, I could hardly walk. And I walked up and down the office for a bit. And it was like, fuck, I'm not sure if I'm, like, injured or if I'm actually better. I wanted to tell him, yeah, what you've done is good, but I just felt fucked. I was like, mate, can you give me, like, a few minutes just to, like, cool down? It's like, I'm not sure if he'd, like, bruised my tendon or something just from how hard he was poking it. And he said, yeah, like, you know, it's probably quite hard to tell now if it's better or not. I was like, yeah, all right. But then he said, right, do you do, what sort of, like, core exercises do you do? I was like, I'll do sit-ups. And he goes, right, stop doing sit-ups. Don't do sit-ups, man. You can really fuck yourself up doing sit-ups. If you want to make your core better, just do planks. I was like, what's that? And he had to show me. And yeah, all right, Luke, mate. I'll see you later. And he showed me what it was. Nothing involved going up my arse. Well, I was sort of disappointed by that point. I've been through that much pain, you know. Sort of like, you know, him trying to knob my bum would have been all right. Would have been all right. It would have been like, you know, pyramid training, wouldn't it? Yeah, and he said, like, planks are the best because they're not dynamic, are they? You're just sort of holding yourself in position, so that, you know, there's no chance of fucking yourself up. So no, yeah, he showed me all that, and he showed me, like, the proper way to stretch your hip flexors by kneeling down, because I was doing it wrong. I was going too low. All right, Peter, mate, how's it going? How's it going, Pete? You right? Yeah. So once I'd done that, I paid him, limped out the office, right? I was like, fucking, I don't know if I feel better or not, because, like, it just hurt. My hip was just, like, fucking, like, burning. Peter, mate, I've told you, I've told this about a million times. All the streams will be uploaded when they're uploaded, mate. Yep. I've been spending. I know, Peter. Listen to my words. I've been getting my fucking groin attacked, mate. Yeah. Does that make sense, Pete? Yeah. So anyway, I walked out, and I got the train home, right? So I was walking to the train station. By about, I don't know, like an hour later, I was walking. All right, Pete, mate. I was walking, and I was like, oh, I feel a bit looser. Like, you know, he said it's not going to get cured in a day, which is reasonable because I've been, like, brutalising it for, like, fucking years. And then yeah, feels a bit better. Yeah, whip mate. Yeah, I don't take auditing advice. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I know what you're saying though. Yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna go through them. Yeah, exactly, Alistair. So yeah, so that happened. So basically, I know what the deal is now. And I'll tell you what, all right. I'll tell you, yeah, man, Alistair knows the deal. Yeah, Alistair knows the deal. We're going to get onto that later. Fucking, you've made me lose my concentration. Yeah, so pumpkin seed, I know, mate. Pumpkin seed, I know everything. Pumpkin seed, I know everything. Everything I do is calculated. All right. Yeah. So he gave me these exercises, and also he told me like how to do like use it. I already do it, but like use a baseball to like manipulate you. All right, Will, how's it going, mate? How's it going? To manipulate my hip. So that's all good. So yeah, I'm not mended yet. It's only like early days. And he told me like the other thing was a bit annoying. He told me, he said, right, actually like the place I went to is pretty good. They understand bikes. They have like one of their guys is a cyclist, and he does bike fitting and that. So like they really understood the deal. And he said to me, he said he called the cycling guy in, because he wasn't the bike guy, but he was obviously, you know, qualified physiotherapist, so whatever. But he called the bike guy, and he goes, because I was saying stuff to him he didn't understand, like power level, power meter level shit and all that. Will, mate, ceramic BB. I'll give your ceramic BB a fucking pounding tomorrow if you're not careful. And by ceramic BB, I mean ceramic bum. Okay. Yeah. What's with the picture of Well, I'm not going to repeat the last 27 minutes. I'm not going to summarise it. Watch the upload, mate. No, he didn't say I should use a 90 stem. Fucking hell, I'd have said, right, look, you know, put me back how I was before I stepped in the office. No, but the cycling guy knew about like power training and all that. So the guy in the office said, "What's your FTP and what's your watts per kilo?" And I told him, and he went, "Right, don't go anywhere near that for the next 2 weeks." I'm like, "All right." So basically, I've got to ride like an absolute fucking fanny for the next 2 weeks. So on my Strava, right, don't expect me to be fucking heroic for the next 2 weeks because it's doctor's orders. Because he said like when you're in the first stages of like really loosening this joint off, if you go hard, you'll just tighten it all back up again. So don't. So he said, go out, definitely go out. Yeah, all right, Carl. Zone 2, fucking yeah. Zone 2, Fred, fucking here we go. A 2-week Fred. 2 weeks of Fredville. Fred Flintstone 2-weeker. Just go back to base. My idea of base is thrashing it about at fucking 300 watts. And then trying to obliterate people in front of me. I don't really know how to go soft. I think that's where all this fucking issues come from, innit? He said, yeah, just go out. He said you definitely ride. Don't not ride, because you know it's active recovery. Just go to the cult base. Yeah, just ride up there. I'm actually I'm thinking about going tomorrow. Got an RCC ride. Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, get some Rafa shit for the next 2 weeks and return it. Yeah. So he said, yeah, just do like 3 watts per kilo or something for the next 2 weeks. I'm like, fucking hell, what? Like he said to me, the look on your face when I said that to you, it explains why your hip is like it is. I was like, yeah, right. So yeah, like that's the deal. But I'll tell you what, right? I'm fucking happy that I don't have any I don't have a herniated disc, because I was properly worried I had that. Zwift, Carl, mate, you redeemed yourself a bit, and then now you started talking about Zwift again. Yeah. GCN fucking kit. What a load of gash. Zwift GCN rides, yeah. Zwift GCN rides on an artisan steel frame. That would be the ultimate. That would be like at 3 watts per kilo. That would be like the fucking word. Oh my god. Yeah. Any suggestions? Yeah, just do more sprint kicking, but don't fuck your hip up like I did. Sprinting. I got pretty good at sprinting, I reckon. I haven't done it for a bit, but I found like the thing that really did it was like doing sets of 3, do recovery rides. No. Get some curved G4 wheels. Fuck me. We could make like the anti TDI cult bike, the bike like our kryptonite, the bike that will send any TDI cult member scrolling back into the cave. Yeah. At the moment, I don't know, mate. At the moment, when I'm fucking banging, I can do like 5.6 per kilo when I'm fucking banging, but I'm not banging at the moment, mate. An F10 with a kickstand, yeah, fucking. I saw one. I fucking saw one today. Despite this, I still went out this morning like a dickhead on my bike. Yeah, I saw some geezer on it. Some geezer riding along. Hang on a minute, Will. I'll explain in a sec. I saw some geezer riding along on an F10. I shit you not, an F10 with that Louis Vuitton, like, you know, shimmering paint job on it. He was wearing jeans and bicycle clips and had he didn't have a stand on it, but his seat was like that high. Just fuck me, man. The Fredge over here are next level. 3 sets of what? All right, Will. So the thing that I found really helped with my sprinting, yeah, I bet it does, mate. The whole of East Asia, doesn't it? Yearn, mate. Well, I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Well, one, I do appreciate advice, Yearn. I'm gonna go with what the geezer said today, though. No, absolutely no offense, Yearn. Please don't take it as offense, but I'm gonna go with what he said. It's still endurance exercises, no muscular tear, and like gym training. It is when I go out, mate. So 3 sets then, Will. Here's what I did, and that really helped sprinting. Don't worry about minutes. Don't worry about time. Fuck all that shit. All you need to do is count the rotations of your legs. All right. So one rotation is like you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one rotation is just like one down of each leg. So actually, a full rotation of the pedals is a count of 2. There you go, there's my fucking mic punch. Do you understand? So like 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, for me, I found like I do 3 sets and the first one is 60 rotations. 60 rotations, right? So you do like 1, 2, 3, 4. And all those 60 rotations, you break up into blocks of 20. So the first bit, you stick your bike in a sort of, I don't know, say like halfway down the cassette on the back and in the big ring on the front, and you do 20 rotations, right? And then when you're at 20, then you drop it down a gear, and then you do the next 20, and you start like really sort of trying to go a bit faster, then drop it down again, bang, and then you just go fucking as hard as you can on the last 20. Then you have like a 1 minute or 2 minute or whatever you want to do rest, and then you go again, but you do 80 rotations. Okay, again, breaking it in. Don't worry about wattage. Don't worry about wattage because you can't look at your wattage when you're sprinting. Yeah. Yearn, just allow it, mate. Allow it. Yeah, please. So we do 20 reps again. 20, 20, 20, 20. So that's 80. So then you go, you know, medium, hard, hard, fucking ballistic for the last 20. And then on your last set, Will, you do 100. You go out and you do 100. All right? Yeah, don't be annoyed, mate. Please, mate. I was just talking to Will. You were distracting me with your excellent stuff. All right. All right. Well, I can address this, Yearn. No, there isn't. But when you max out, when you're doing hard as fuck intervals, yes, there is, because your legs burn out, don't they? The muscles get fucking done, like when you're benching or when you're doing deadlifts. It does with me. What bike sprint sessions? Yeah, that's right, Will. Yeah, 60, 80, 100. Or, I mean, that's what worked for me, right? But it might be that the first time you try it, you need to just do 60, 60, 60. Yeah? Just for the first time you try it, just try and sort of do it to work out, like, the system rather than actually going fucking full on your first time. And then, you know, so what I would do, I'd do, say, 60, 80, 100, right? Then I'd have a 5-minute rest. Then I'd do 80, 80, 100. And have a 5-minute rest, and I'll do 100, 100, 100. So it's nine sets in total. And by the last one, I'll be fucked. How much rest between each set? Well, it depends, really. It depends where you are on your training. It depends where you are on your training thing. Like if you're really starting to peak, you can cut down the amount of time. But for me, well, it depends on your body, doesn't it? It depends on your fitness. Like, it's whenever you start to sort of feel human again a bit after you've just completely fucking thrown your body over the limit. For me, it was like, it's about like 2-3 minutes really. And then like that comes down a bit as you get a bit fitter. But you know, you can do 5 minutes or whatever. So like you would do like 60, then 2 minutes. Prats, mate. You're gonna have to you have to watch the upload, mate. We've done all that. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just go and do what go and do. I mean, don't stick to numbers that, you know, are just randomly plucked out of some geezer off the internet. Go and see what your body can do at first, and then that's your fitness level there, isn't it? And then once you've worked out where you're at, then you can start to improve it by reducing the amount of time between sets. Like if it takes you an hour to recover, so be it, right? Yeah, Yerny did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He told me all about that. Yeah. The geezer was good, man. He was really, really fucking good. Cycling in Japan. You asked a question, mate, a while back as I was mid flow. Who is it? Send me a message on YouTube message, and I'll link you up to the guy because he was really good. All right, I'll give you their Google Maps location and all their website and that, mate. Yeah, all right. Yeah, so that was that. That's what you do, Will. That's what you do, mate. Right then, next up then, we are going to talk about the cult. All right. So I've done a few things. Look at that fucking background picture. Look at that background picture. How good is that? How good is that? Here's a question for you all then. Here's a question for you all. What is that background picture? Can anyone tell me what it is? Can anyone tell me what it is? If anyone can tell me what that picture is, a pedo. A pedo. It's not a pedo, is it, Prats? How can a child be a paedophile? The angel of death, no. So, yeah. It's just a fucking camera point. Yeah. The angel of death. No, it's not the angel of death, but it is to do with death. It's a dead girl. No, it's not a dead girl, but it is related to that. The Ring, no, good idea though. What do you reckon it is? Alice, no, but it's in the realm of Prats, mate. You know where the lyrics from that from you. Yeah, you're a Lost Boys fan. LiveStream from the bunker, yes, mate. Alice in Wonderland, no. I don't want to insult anyone's not intelligence, artistic, how well read you are. Is that your daughter? No, I don't have a daughter, mate. Not allowed. This is a tribute to the classic work of art Ophelia. All right. Now, Ophelia is, of course, the picture of the woman who is drowned in the river, and she's laying there, dead. Her body's floating in the river, and there's flowers everywhere. This picture is a tribute to that, and is actually Ophelia when she is a child, and it's a sort of prophetic vision of her future. She's laying in the same river that she died in, and floating there and dreaming about what's going to happen. Yeah, so there you go. So I use that. Yeah. I haven't got any Warhammer in there yet. I'll have to sort of like blend in some Warhammer references in there. But apart from that, yeah, it's Ophelia. Yeah, it's a tribute to the Ophelia picture, which is one of my favourite works of art. Yeah. So there you go. Right, we need to talk about the club. We need to talk about this because where are we? Right, we've got fuckloads of 66 members already. That's good, isn't it? 66 members already. What brake pads do I use for your Chinese rims? Just the Fast Sports pads. They're like the absolute best. Fast Sports pads. They're like cheap as fuck. FSE pads. Yeah. Well cheap. They're like, yeah. I don't, mate. What's the Lumineers? Oh, all right. I'll check that out later, mate. I don't know, but I wonder if that's... Well, some of you might be in trouble. Let me just, right, so look, we've got a lot of members here. 3 fucking pages already. Look at that. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. All right. Extra like 180 grand wheel set. Is it that carbon tubular one they've made? I've got the same hubs. The hubs just need servicing fucking endlessly. If you're not into servicing hubs, don't buy it. Simple as that. Right. The discussion page on on this group has got a bit silly already. I think some of you may be missing the point. I mean, I really do. I appreciate the interest. But someone here is trying to get me to make someone here is sort of, how can I say this? Creating work for me when I haven't even mentioned it. Would anybody interested in a cult kit? I mean, I've mentioned this, but all right, Blair. That's like saying, oh, this guy will do this if you ask him. Ban him. I'm like, nah, I mean, it's like, right. It's like, well, don't create work for me when I haven't fucking said, when I haven't agreed to it. All right. I'll do it in my own time, and I'll do it under my own terms, mate, because I made the fucking group. You know what I mean? But yeah, but Charlie, mate, if you're watching this, if you are here, I'm not being this is no personal attack on you, mate. I'm just saying this ain't the way to do it. All right. So yeah, that was one of them. Matt, your idea of a video request thread, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right, William. Ban him. Yeah, just ban him. Yeah, Matt, I like that. That's all right, man. That's all right. Yeah. If any of you wanted me to do any videos, yeah, just stick it in here. Just stick it in here. Or if, you know, that'd be all right. I'll do them when I can. That's cool. Yeah. So there you go. That's all right. But it has been a week of banning, hasn't it? I've actually banned a few people. I've had my ban hammer out. You know, spending. I might have to. You know, I've been spending quite a lot of money. I might have to start a Kickstarter to keep raising all those $5,000 that I keep having to spend. You know. Oh yeah, totally, Matt. Yeah, totally, man. Totally, man. Yeah, totally. Yeah, he won't be coming back. He's banned for life. He's banned for life. Yeah, we're not having that. We're not having that. Not having that. Yeah. Power meters for noobs. All right, Carl, mate. Well, what do you want to know about power meters, man? What do you want to know? Like which one to buy, or what? Which one do you? Yeah. We that's all been done and dusted, isn't it? No, yeah. So, well, who was that? Carl, what do you want to? What specifically do you want to know? Because it's quite a pretty big subject, isn't it? Power meters. Like if you give me something like a bit more specifics, I can definitely do it. Solid versus Dura Ace, yeah. Or with all this sort of high end gear, you never really sort of appreciate it until I want to start using the cheap stuff again. I want to know how to train with one so I can go sub 300k. You don't have to look. Right, let's clear this up right now. Hey, it's 41 people watching this. That's a record. Let's clear this up right now. Yeah, I'm going to give you a bit of a rant now. You ready? This group is, I think people may have got the wrong idea. This cult is not necessarily for people who are excellent riders. Okay, it doesn't matter how good you are or how shit you are. Right? That doesn't matter. All you need is a desire to improve. If you have ever felt that you've been ripped off by a bike company, or you feel like you don't fit in, or you feel like, you know, there's something that doesn't quite sit right with you with the sort of the mainstream sort of GCN fueled, everyone's cozy, fucking let's spend £1 million on our bikes vibe that seems to be, you know, that seems to have taken over as the mainstream sort of standard now. This is a place for you. All right, you know what I mean? Fucking Alistair Leadmill, Sheffield, mate. Jesus, you fuck. How do you know about that? How do you know about that? Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying though, lads? Yeah. Like, you know, it's about your own body. It's about tuning your body. It's about tuning your bike, and it's about getting the stuff that works and is not marketed to you as a piece of shit product. Okay. The ceramic bearings thing, for example, right? Pratt's, man. Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. I like your edgy take on things. The lead mill is fucking ridiculous, man. I went to lead mill for the first time in 1997. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Brilliant place. Brilliant place. It stinks though. It's well grimy. Is it still there? I think it is, isn't it? Yeah. So, do you know what I mean? Right? So, don't worry. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly, mate. You know, and it's about using the gear and finding the gear that's right rather than the gear that is cool. Okay? And the gear that is hard and the gear that works, right? No marketing bullshit. Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is though, right? There's very little correlation between price and performance at both ends of the scale, right? So if something's really expensive, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be good. But then again, if something's really cheap, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be shit, right? Especially, it seems like that in cycling, like it just seems seemingly random, right? And especially with like the whole marketing thing, just sort of, I don't know, just misleading people. It seems like the only way that we're going to find out what's good is by fucking testing it ourselves, because there's no one else we can trust. So that's why we do this, all right? Training with a power meter is really fucking simple. I can summarize it for you. The first month, you'll be absolutely fucking knackered, right? Then the next month, you'll get a bit stronger, but you'll be knackered again. Then the next month, you've got a group ride and go, fucking hell, I've just beaten everyone. Then you'll be knackered again, all right? And then you'll continue to get stronger. And then you'll get to a point where you think, fucking hell, I've got to cool it down a bit, because, you know, you might be going a bit hard. And then, you know, a year later, you look back at everything you've done and gone, Jesus Christ. And you'll be able to, like, go to a mountain and just, instead of going, shit, I've got to ride like that, you'll go, right, well, I'm going to go and do this much power here. And then you just get to the top. And then you better to, like, plot rides, just go, okay, we're doing 5 climbs here, and just go bang, bang, bang. And you better do it. Yeah. So that's how you deal with the power meter. The specifics, you know, we can get into another time. Yeah, man. So there you go. Right. Do you do a step test to figure out your FTP? No, mate. No. Absolutely not. Yeah, exactly, Sardeep. Exactly, Sardeep, mate. Exactly. This is just a group, a cult, because that's what it is, right? Which is just honest. It's just giving each other, you know, telling each other what is good and what's shit, without any sort of sponsorship or money getting in the way, right? You know? And it's better than a forum. Forums are all right, but forums get fucking flooded with, you know, people with ulterior motives, just, you know, trying to twist the conversation, and someone will post something, and because everyone has just a username and some words, it all just appears as the same. There's no one who really has any authority over anybody else. Not that I'm saying that I've got authority over anyone, but by showing it, by physically showing it, that is better than comments on a forum. You know what I mean? Yeah, a brand ambassador. Yeah. Yeah. Any books? No, man, fuck that. Just ride your bike. Just ride your bike, mate. Don't overthink it. Right, let's think about it. Well, let's overthink about it. Let's overthink about it for a second. What is riding a bike? You sit on, right, what is a bike? It's just 2 wheels connected with some tubes, yep, with a drivetrain. That's it, yep. All you do is you sit on it, you lean on it, and you do this with your legs. That's all it is. That's all it is. And all of this fucking culture and all of this scene and all this fashion and all this talk and all this chat and all this marketing and all this money is just a fucking extra layer on the fact that all we're doing is we're sitting on some tubes and doing that blah, 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 for several hours, right? And whoever is the best at going like that, whoever's the best at PE, is heralded a hero. That's it. All right? That's it. That's all that cycling is. You sit on some fucking tubes on some wheels and do that with your legs. That's all it is. Everything else is just extra bullshit. All right? So we're just going to get into the fucking core, get into the essence. Yeah? Post link to the Strava group. Can someone give him a link to the Strava group? Because I can't get into my browser at the same time as this. Sorry. I've only got 3 monitors. I have to buy another monitor. All this about base training, different energy. Man, fuck it. Matt. All that shit about base training and all that kind of crap, it's just good to read about in retrospect. Once you've done it and you go, oh, I was doing base training then. Just go and ride your bike, man. Perhaps is right. Consistency is king. Consistency is king. Doing that on a regular basis without too many gaps in between, and without putting too much fatty food in your body, be a rider. Be a rider. Yeah. That's all it is. That's all it is. And if you wanna get good at going up mountains, ride up more mountains. If you want to get good at riding on the flat, ride on the flat more. You want to get good at sprinting, do more sprinting. You know what I mean? If you want to chill out for a bit, if you're a bit tired, just don't ride as hard. That's it, innit? That's all it is. Luckily for us, we don't have to. I mean, fitness is a passive procedure, isn't it? Gaining fitness with your body, right? You do the exercise, but your body itself changes. You don't have to cut your body open and move bits around to get fitter. It does it by itself because of evolution, right? So it's very simple. If you're an absolute beginner, Matt, all you do is just go and do some rides, right? Get on Strava. Sorry, I've just burped into the mic. That's disgusting. Get on Strava. I know you're on Strava, right? All right, Jed, man. Well, have a good race. Good luck. Of course it's the engine. Of course it's the engine. Of course it is. The only thing about an expensive bike, it just feels a bit nicer. Sour deep, mate. How do I put this? Right. Don't take this in the wrong way. All right. Please don't take this in the wrong way, because I've been through this myself. There's a sort of event horizon, not an event horizon. There's a sort of, I don't know what you say, like a fuck no, what do you call it? A threshold. You can see how good I am at speaking. There's a point, there's a cut-off point with body weight, right? And every human has a different number they need to get to. But there comes a point where you'll get under a certain weight and then suddenly climbing will be fucking easy. Okay? I myself have experienced this. For me, it's about 72 kilograms. And I'm much lighter than that now. But around 72 kilograms is the point where I can actually vary my speed up hills, and I am in control of the climbing activity rather than just trying to struggle through it. You know what I mean? So once you get your weight below what is your own personal cut-off point, suddenly, bang, you'll be just on it. Okay? And please don't take that in the wrong way, right? I'm just saying it as it is. Yeah? Your knees are fat. What's up with your knees? What's up with your knees, Matt? What's up with your knees? William, I totally agree about your engine thing, mate. Let me tell you, the first time I did a really, really, what was it? First time I did a properly hard KOM was the day that I had to take off my tune rear wheel because I'd fucked it, and put back on a really heavy, what was it? It was like an alloy rim that I just had laying around that I'd built into like a really fucking heavy Chinese hub. And I went out and just caned a KOM on it. And a fast one, like 55 kilometers per hour KOM. It's the engine, man. It's how you feel on the day. Matt, fastest way to drop weight. That is a question you shouldn't be asking. You shouldn't drop weight fast. You need a sensible weight, and you need to wait a way to be able to do it and maintain that. So I think probably the safest and most consistent way to drop weight is what you should be aiming for. I know that's not what you want to know, and that sounds like me telling you what to do, but I think that's the way it goes. Because then if you do it sensibly, you'll be able to keep it off. Faster way to drop weight is the... Perhaps, I didn't even read your comment. You just said the same thing as me. Yeah, you just said the same thing as me. Matt Potter, behind the right knee, stabbing pain hurts to walk above the calf. Right, immediately I'm going to say your seat's too high. Okay? Immediately I'm going to say your seat's too high. All right? It might not be that, but I'm going to say, wit. Don't start... Yeah. Matt used to be a bodybuilder, right? Don't start tempting him into fucking injecting himself with things. I'm sure he knows all about that. Or maybe you don't. Sorry, Matt, but, you know. Yeah. Behind the knee, I'm going to say your seat's too high, right? Well, if you're going to lower it, do it properly. I assume you've got a smartphone, right? All you do is, if you don't have a tripod, just get some sticky tape. Sticky tape your smartphone to a wall opposite where your bike is. Sit on your bike, and then just get your foot into the bottom position on your crank. And if your heel's right up in the fucking air like that, your seat's too high. Drop it until it starts to come down a bit, right? And then just see if the other foot's like that. It should be about the same. And then go out and try that again and see if your knee hurts. Then you'll need to find out. Then you need to find where the ball of your foot is, right? And then make a vertical line going up, and that should be where the joint of your knee is when your foot's in it, when your crank's at about that position. I'll type all that out for you if you want, mate. But yeah, you can't exercise your fork. Well, yeah, you're just getting your fork, don't you? Max, don't depress me about my fork. Yeah, Canada are going to call me on Monday about that, fucking knobheads. Yeah. Petty, you having time off your bike, are you? Yeah. Make sure you roll your leg, your left and right leg and all that, and use, use a ball to like press out your knee and all that. Yeah. Alistair, generally, yeah, you're right. Back of the knees too high, front knees too low, generally. Yeah. Eating fork, yeah. Fucking Cannondale, dickheads. I'll probably still end up buying another frame, won't I? Do you reckon slamming the stem makes much difference in terms of aerodynamics? Yeah, of course it does. The lower you get, the better. Watch Hambini's video. Where is Hambini? Watch Hambini's video on aerodynamics. Go and watch Hambini aerodynamics. He knows what he's talking about. Yep. Ride and eat like a cult, man, yeah. Ride like an absolute cult. Yeah. Turn yourself into a fucking cult. That's what you got to do. People need to be referring to you as, look at that cult over there. What about the Cervelo R5? What about it? It's a Canadian frame made in Taiwan with an Italian name. Says it all, doesn't it? Yeah, man. All right, we're coming up to the hour now. There's going to be no shocking revelation at the end of this because I'm traumatized from having my body ragged about. Yeah, so I'm getting better. I know it seems perhaps slightly narcissistic, me just talking about my own thing in this video, but I hope that anybody else who may be having this kind of issue or another issue realizes that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And if you can find yourself a good physio, then yeah, zone 2, mate. I'm going to get more traumatized from riding zone 2 for the next 2 weeks. I tell you, Jesus, what the fuck? What am I going to do? What am I going to do?